We're using the lift to offload another lift. That's what the current plan is. So Dad bought a 4-post lift. That's what that is, even though you can't tell what that is. So that's what we're doing. We're going to use what we got to unload what we got. Those straps don't look super promising the way that they're in the hooks over here, but
as long as they don't let go,
it should be fine. Keep going. Alright, I'll just pull the truck forward. Ta-da! Alright, now we gotta take it out of this crate. So, we got it off the trailer, but everything on this is very heavy. So we're trying to figure out now, how do we take it apart without having any equipment here to take it apart. So, yep, that's where we're at. So we're gonna use the cherry picker to pick up one side of it and swing it over there and set it on a car dolly, which are, I don't know where Dad, there's 2 of them.
There's 2 there and 2 over there.
And then we're gonna do the same thing over there, I think.
Did I borrow those car
That's what we're doing.
Did you?
Keep going. So now we need to just basically drive that way.
Yeah, but watch.
I mean, it's going to do what it's going to do. I don't know if it falls or if it hurt it. Where's the camera?
Hold on, don't smash the camera.
I have a bad habit of dropping GoPros.
See, people get scared of doing stuff like this. Just don't put your toes under it. Or your head. Or any other body. That's probably plenty far. Now our problem's probably going to be...
Hey, there's my lock washer.
There's that washer you're looking for. Now you're probably going to set that down and it's probably going to get the...
You need wood.
The lift hooked on it.
There's 2x4s over there on the floor. There's one piece. We got a lot more pieces to go. We got crap all over the place and a mountain of bubble wrap. So this is clearly upside down. Perfect. See? When you're dumb, you can make things happen. Ta-da! Okay, now it's just completely in the way, but at least it's the right way in the way. Okay, so did we ever find instructions?
No.
Trying to follow the manual here. This is what it shows. Not very descriptive sort of pictures here. Place the cross rails into the column, aligning the locks and the steps on the same side. So the cables are towards these rails, or the pulleys, and the pull cable is on the outside. So that's what this is this lock pull cable. So this needs to go towards this. This needs to go away from that. I'm going to that post and you're going to go right here. That one goes like that, the other one goes the opposite way. So the pulleys go towards this ramp from what towards this from what I can tell. Like so. And this slides in there, like so. Ta-da! I think ta-da. All right, now we gotta get the other leg that matches it. So now these guys go in there, like so. And that must be what holds these little UHMW blocks in place. Oh, so that goes on there somehow, some way. Let's see what the instructions say for the next step. Okay, so the next thing that we're doing is the ramp guys. Those have these two bolt holes, and those, I believe, go here. So we're going to lift this side up with the cherry picker, get it positioned over there, and that one too. This way we can get that side assembled like this and slide everything together. All right, so the instructions say to put this all together on the floor. But then all the cables are underneath this, and how are you going to get to it when it's sitting on the floor? So we're going to use a cherry picker to lift this up and maybe block it up or whatever so that we could bolt these on that side, and we'll probably do the same thing with that side, maybe just the floor jacks or something, so that we can have it high enough so that we could actually work on it. I guess we could just lift it up and put jack stands under there.
You could, or I'm looking at how the safety's already in here, which is what this is. And if you get it up that high, it's going to catch on that.
It'll just hold itself in place.
It's going to want to sit there. Lift it out of the way. I'm just guessing.
The instructions are not that great. I know these go here because this is what
those plates are on there.
You're supposed to hit. Where? These plates?
No, the plates that you're showing, they just give you a picture of that.
They don't show you these other bars? There's only two of them. Instructions are not great, Ace Plus lift, so you got to get your shit together. Okay, this side is loosely bolted. I'm gonna let this down. Okay, so we got this side lifted up high enough so we can maybe get to the cables and stuff. And then we're gonna go probably lift this as high as we need to just to hook that up. And then level the whole thing out probably, and then go from there. All right, here's where we're at. We're in the shop. It's the next day. Anywho. This is underside of the ramp that has the cylinder with all the cables on it. So like I said, the instructions, fantastic. Really, really, really good instructions. Anywho, so I'm trying to figure this out. So it looks like this is a shorter cable. So I'm assuming that is supposed to go through that gap right there. And in order to get it through there, I think I got to drop this pulley down. So I'm going to get an Allen wrench so that I can take this bolt out, slide this pin out of there, because then I could pull this back and fish it through there, because the end piece is not flexible. So I believe that's what I should do, and that's what I'm gonna do. So let's do that. I believe I'm onto something. See, there's a lot more room in here now. So now we can fish that guy up through there. This side is done. I just got to figure out. I mean, I think this goes out and up. Oh yeah, see, there's some holes. So it probably goes up there to those. So let's go do the other side, why don't we? Yeah, quit talking, let's go do it. All right, this side is a little more tricky because we got double pulleyage situation. So I have to take both of these out because this has got to go that way. And I think I got to take this off because that ain't gonna work. So working on that, you know, cables, not comfortable. They grab your hairs really good and strip them right out. It's great. I got one in there and this is out, but the cylinder's got to be extended. This ties to the back of that rod. See, I can only pull it that tight. So I got to hook the power unit up and extend that cylinder out before I can hook this to the top of that. So I'm going to do this other pulley. I only ripped about 3,000 hairs out of the top of my head so far, so we're doing good. Developing a bald spot. Great. Okay, got them both done. Did. Let's go back up on the top side. You know what I'm talking about? That's up there. Up there. That's the top side. Let's go up there and I guess do something. I don't know, whatever the next thing is. All right, just learned something. Manual doesn't say anything about it. But I was looking at how do you release the locks on this. So the locks have this little rod. And then for whatever reason, they got this that just so happens to be right by wherever this hole is. So I was like, that's interesting. Well, I would want the lock to be by the power unit, which the power unit is right here. Well, that's where it's going to go anyways. So I'd want the lock to be here. So I found the handle. There's the handle. And I have determined that the way that this works is this goes through that hole, and then each one of those rod ends goes here. Well, if I put this there, then you'd have to have somebody over here hold the lock and then somebody over there to operate it. So that ain't going to work. So what I was thinking is if I take these off and flip them around so that the little junction or connection between them would be right here, and I make this the front of the lift, so you would drive all the way into this instead of the ramp side. So all I got to do is take these plates and move them over there, and those plates that are upright and move them over here. Then I could put this in here and you wouldn't hit it because you'd never be driving that far forward. So it'd be nice if the instructions told you that. They do not, or at least I didn't see it in the instructions. Hold on, let's look at the instructions. Lay out 4 columns, tracks, runway. Place the cross rails in the column, aligning the locks and the steps on the same side. Slide the cross rail to the lowest point, release, repeat, replace the runway and the cross rails. The lip should be resting on the bottom, install the hardware, blah, blah. It says nothing about where you're supposed to put the power unit in relationship to the locks. Maybe self-explanatory if you know what you're doing, but I'm an idiot, so relax. Okay, I got these all switched around. So this is the linkage here and ties into this, and then this has a bar that goes all the way through to the other side. so you could use one lever to actuate everything. So this is by the power unit, so you could, you know, be standing here to do the release and pull this down to release the dogs. So I got all this stuff tight. I got to get under there and tighten the nut that's on the threaded part of this for that rod. And then the lock release mechanism is done. All right, next steps. We got to get this cable hooked up there. So it did say in the instructions how to do this part, which is weird because the instructions didn't really tell you how to do anything else. But you just basically rip on the cable. So here, I'm gonna and I'm not sure where to put the one washer, so it's probably just gonna go at the top. Just put it flush like that for now. I got this one done already. I just got to do this one. That one's done as well. All four of those are on there. There's a little slack in this because remember we lifted this up and put it on the first lock. So the cables are not tight right now. So the next thing we got to do is put the power unit on. Fill that bad Johnson up with fluid. And actually try and run it through its gears. And it doesn't have gears, it's just a pump. Anyways. Alright, got the power unit mounted. Went to go hook this hose up, so there's a port here, and then this is the hydraulic port to the cylinder. And the hose won't go on there, but they sent me this other adapter. So I'm assuming that this adapter replaces that adapter. That's what I'm thinking. So we're gonna try that. There we go. This thing just kind of hangs way out there. But, oh well. Okay, now we gotta put the pigtail on this. Looks like they sent me one. So we'll get that all wired up. And then we put oil in it, and then we can try and run it. And then we might have to adjust the cables, I suppose. That's where we're at. Yep. All right, I didn't have much hydraulic oil. That's all I got. So we got to pick up more, but let's see what happens here. Oh, biscuits! Probably get underneath it and make sure the cables aren't all twisted up or anything first. Oh, yeah, those ones are straight and on the pulleys down there. Go down there on the pulleys up there. Yep, everything looks good. This one's on this pulley. This one's on this pulley. You know what I probably should do, just because I don't trust whoever did this, is check all these set screws. It's probably a good idea before I put anything heavy on this thing. As I suspected, they were all loose. All right, let's try and test run it again, maybe a little bit, and then we'll put these little guard cover deals on there. Those are these. They go on there. Something like this. I'm assuming they're to prevent you from sticking your hands in there. That's what I think. But we'll test run it a couple times up and down as much as we can with the limited amount of oil we have, and then go from there. You want to go for a ride? Oh, look at this too. It's on top of that bolt. Let's let it down and fix that problem. Right, you ready? Hold on tight. Still gotta bleed the air out of it. There we go. I don't know if you can see the oil level. It's at here, and we're only halfway through our height, so we're definitely low. Gonna go to its second lockout. Right there. It's its third one. All right, I want to check the other side to make sure that all the locks are in the same spot, because I still didn't tighten these nuts down on the top of these cables. Those are still just finger tight. But what we want to do is we want to make sure it's level. See, so right now it's just barely touching that. That one's just barely touching that. How's this side looking? Oh, about the same, just barely touching it. This one's a little low, so this corner could probably go up a hair. But, oh yeah, we never tried to release this yet. There we go. That seems like it's working. So what you got to do to get this to go down is these are the locks. You got to hold this down, and you got to push this lever down. All right, so that should be all the way on the ground. All right, so I got the ramp side tight. This side is not tight yet. I think the easiest way to do that is to take some of the weight off of the cables. So I'm going to go up to the locks and then drop it down. So, like that, and then go down. There we go. So see how this loosened up a little bit? So now I won't just be having all this entire weight of this side of this on those threads when I'm adjusting them. So let's adjust this side, see if we can get it level to the other side. All right, as per the usual, 0 instructions on these little wheel guys. But I did find, we're kind of running out of parts here, so I think it's just going to be a process of elimination. All of this hardware has got to be to bolt the wheels to those. These guys, there's 4 of them. And I found that there's this hole, in the lift. And those 4 holes are all in the same spot. So I'm assuming these slide through there into the end of that. And then that's when you lower this all the way down. That's what catches that. And we'll take the legs off the ground so you can move the lift, I'm assuming. We're going to find out. All right, since there's no instructions, I put these together both directions. The wheel on this side of the plate and the wheel on that side of the plate. I think this is what the one is gonna, that's the one that's gonna work. So let's get you set up. I think I figured out how these are supposed to work. I believe this is supposed to go right here with this pin through there. And then when the lift is all the way down, you have this happen. That's what those little pockets are for. So then this would be tied into there. Pretty sure that's how that works. So let me put these other 3 wheels together and then we'll go from there. All right, I got all of these assembled. Now what I want to do is lower the lift down so I could put these pins in these and then see if we could roll it around. So let's do that. Okay, so now we got to lift this up so that other wheel will fall down. Let's try and go down and see what happens here. Those ones are clear. These ones are clear. So this is going to hit there and it should lift the leg off the ground. Okay, we got it adjusted so it will go all the way up. So the little safety dog will go above this. What we had to do is we had to lower this all the way down to the ground and then adjust these cables as tight as you can go before it started picking this up off the ground. So we did that and then we ran it all the way up to make sure that it would engage those safety dogs in its highest position, and then I locked the jam nuts back down. So that is also Not in the instructions. They do go over that you have to pull the cables and manually pull the cylinder out, but they didn't tell you what you're doing that for or what that looks like. So that's what I did to engage them, but I didn't know where to adjust it to. So you just got to pull it all the way until it starts lifting this up, and then I went back just a little bit so that this was, when it's all the way down, it was as far down as it'll go. So there we go. All right, we decided we wanted to put something on the lift just to test it out with weight. And Dad's too chicken to put the Hornet on there, so I'm going to take the Razor and drive it on there. So you're going to go with me. All right, we're gonna go all the way up and see if it falls over. And here's our 4 drip trays. Like Dad was saying, all of our vehicles, we're probably gonna need about 40 of these, however many span the entire length of that.
You know what I just thought of?
What'd you just think of?
I just thought of, now that we have this lift, we could put it by the door and lift it up and put a ladder on it and get up there.
See, we bought a car lift so we can work on garage doors. A bunch of idiots. All right, I mean, this is great because look at overhead clearance. It's 6'7" overhead clearance is what it said, and the other one was 6 foot. 77 inches, 6'5" underhead when it's all the way up, because that's the thing that I was thinking about. We're going to use it to work on stuff, I'm sure, but to park things,
I can't even reach stuff.
it is 8 feet.
So I need a stool.
To figure out where do we put the ramps when they're not being used. So what we're thinking is I could put like a little piece of angle iron or something down there to hold this from sliding out, and then we could just put a hook of some sort. You just can't go through this because of how the rails travel.
Right.
So you'd have to weld to the outside of it.
But that's all doable.
Yeah. So that this way the ramps are right there, so they're not high in the air.
Right, and if you have flat side out, you have less stuff to bust your knees on.
So then we've got that, and then the other thing that we've got to figure out what to do with, which we might just kill 2 birds with 1 stone doing it, is these. So these are the little rollback.
Yep, so we feel so much safer now.
So we've got to figure out where to put these. We're thinking about putting them here, but the problem is with the lift all the way on the ground, this still sticks up. So when you get vehicles that are super low, like that black truck, that's going to be in the way. So maybe we put the ramps right there, and then this is just part of.
You just hang it on the same hook. Yeah.
So.
Yep. I like that one weld.
All right, the Razor didn't fall off. That's going to pull the Hornet on there now. He trusts it. I'm going to close this other garage door because we get so many looky-loos that drive by here wanting to know what's going on in the shop, and they don't need to know what's going on in here. And this is how much head clearance I have. So it's good. It'll be good for parking things under, because then you don't have to get out of the car and then nail your head on whatever's above you.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Now all we need is 18 leak pans and we're done.
Yeah. Hi. I got the mounts for the ramps done. This is what they look like. I just used a lag bolt for the top and cut it off and welded it on there. And then some angle iron for the bottom. So then those can go there. So they're on the lift, but they're not in the way. I still don't know what to do with the little wheel dolly things. I haven't figured that out yet. That'll be the next thing. But maybe not right this second.